personalization, as we know, is a top priority in retail, and hyper-personalization is another topic. 53%. That's the number of retailers globally that plan on investing in AI in the next 5 years to help in this journey. And 24% say AI has impacted their business in the last 12 months, and that's according to Euromonitor. Here to lead off this conversation is Dawn Pratt. She's CEO of Global Training Events Group. And part of this AI conversation also revolves around privacy. And so I'm very interested to hear what you all have to say on this topic. Dawn?
Yeah, that's great. So I'm Dawn Pratt. I'm founder of Tech Up for Women, and we are a website platform and conference in New York City to tech up, stay ahead of the tech curve, learn new technologies. So if you get a chance, please go on our website. So I'm excited today. We have Joy Tang from Markable, and she's going to intro herself and her company. And then we have Chris Duffey from Adobe. And then we have Ofer Tziperman from Anagog, who is, so we're going to sort of go in a row, and each are going to sort of intro what their company is all about and how it relates, and we'll ask some questions, let you ask some questions. So, Joy?
Thank you. I'll have the slideshow. I actually really enjoyed the last panel, the Beauty Corp, what they do, AI for beauty. So Markable basically do AI for fashion. And it's a little different that we basically make any content, photos, videos on social media shoppable instantly by recognizing the products inside. So that way we can gather user data on what they're actually looking at, what product they clicked on, what they end up purchasing, what price range, all this information that previous social media companies don't really have to help them better personalize advertising and content. So I'm the CEO and founder. I actually spent 17 years in China and 17 years in the States, and we're a global company. I think this idea has been around for like last, decades, and people have been talking about, oh, I love what, Carrie is wearing in Sex and City. Everyone talk about it, but it never happened. So we're actually the first company in the world that really made fashion video recognition happen. So people can really watch any TV show, follow your celebrity, and shop what they're wearing. So this is a quick video. This is a classic Sex and City. I'm from New York. You pause the video, and you see the actors and actresses and the products they're wearing. So the products come from different retailer and brands in different price range. We can do personalized recommendation to consumers based on a comfortable price range. And you can actually create the checkout experience right happen on the content without leaving the content side to a retailer side. So it's kind of like a floating mall that can be embedded into any content side. The video experience, you guys know about TikTok? Like young kids are absorbed into these short 10, 20-second videos, but while you're watching them, the product will just pops up on the content. You can scroll up and see more products. You can also say, hey, I really like this shirt, and show me more videos that has this shirt. So it's like an infinite loop between content and shopping. This is really how people want to shop. It just never happened, and I think it's about time. So the idea we created this because people spend so much time on content side. They're not spending that much time actually on e-commerce side. But the content sides are struggling with revenue through advertising, but whenever they do advertising, they're hurting the user experience. So this is actually a new way of advertising. It's so good that it's not advertising anymore. I call that like the new user shopping feature. So it's like the next level of advertising where when you see something, because you're interested, you'll find out what is in the content. So we have the giants on the content side. Obviously there's Facebook. In China, we already launched with China's Facebook called Weibo. We also just launched with China's Netflix called iQIYI. So we actually bring this technology back to the States because it was a little easier to launch in China first. They're faster at adopting new technology. So I think right now we have China, we have US, we also have the Middle East market and Japan. The goal is to bring all the best global products to global contents instantly without you wasting money on advertising. We actually only take a cut when the product is sold. So it's like a really good deal for brands and retailers to quickly reach their customers. And that's a quick intro.
Great, that's awesome. Okay, Chris,
Oh, thank you.
take it over.
That was great. Hi, everyone. I'm Duffey from Adobe. There I am. So very excited to be here, not only because it's the start of 2020, what we have long held as this symbolic notion of the future, but it's also the start of the decade. So love the premise of this talk, the future of retail, and we firmly believe that the future of retail is that people buy experiences, not just products, but that end-to-end experience. And that comes with a lot of complexity. There's some stats out there. 67% of customers say it's important for brands to receive personalization. And I think that really gets to the heart of the opportunity, but also the heart of the problem, in the sense that now retailers, brands, and content creators have to create hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces of content so it can be automated and personalized for contextual lifetime value of those products. So at Adobe, Adobe is now well beyond Photoshop, that I'm sure all of you know and love. We are now the third largest software company in the world, and much of that growth is driven on creating a platform that is an end-to-end solution. And those are really based off of a few different strategies. The first one is to unleash creativity, really at the core DNA of what Adobe is. Also to increase document productivity. And then the third is to power digital experiences. The foundation to all of those three strategies and offerings is powered by what we call Adobe Sensei. It's our framework of AI and machine learning, different techniques and models that we leverage to create that end-to-end experience. Better to see a video than talk about it, so here's a bit of a video.
Adobe Sensei is an AI and machine learning platform that deeply understands how our users work and delivers a lot of simple workflows that makes that magical moment happen in any of our applications.
Flip it sideways.
What makes Sensei so unique is Adobe is the only company in the industry that can marry art of content and creative expression and science of data at massive scale.
The key areas that we focus on are content intelligence, computational creativity, and then the experience, which is around understanding events related to how content is delivered.
If I can go all the way from how I create content in the creative tools and then have ability to personalize it at scale through Adobe Experience Cloud, then have the ability to measure it through analytics and feed the measurement back into the creative workflow saying, hey, these designs work better. That actually is the holy grail in what customers tell us they want. Adobe Sensei really represents the next major productivity breakthrough.
So we really are taking an AI-first approach in terms of creation, but a foundational premise is that AI is not a replacement for human creativity. It is an amplification of it. And I think that's echoed in the World Economic Forum's recent report that is talking about what are the most needed skill sets going into 2020. And all three of those are inherently human. One is complex problem solving. Number two is creativity. And then the third is the creation of content. So quite exciting that AI is going to amplify each of those. And so it's embedded across all of our products. Encourage you all to take a look at some of the newer tools that Adobe has recently come out with. One of my favorites is XD, and the name kind of references experience design. And so now you can create like never before across multiple screens and then distribute it, measure it, and optimize it faster than ever before. So would love to chat a little bit more with you after the session on some of your specific problems that you're trying to solve. And with that, we'll hand it off.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
So great to be here. I am Ofer Tziperman.
Great to be here since I flew all the way from Tel Aviv, 14 hours. So it's always great to be at the end of it. So let me just dive into it. What we are offering at Anagog is a very interesting solution which we call JEDI, to reflect the first of its kind artificial intelligence engine that can sit on the handset, that can use all the signals from the different sensors on the phone to understand both the activity and the location of the user, to even build a very detailed profile, and eventually to predict what the user is likely to do next. All of that only on the phone with no connection to the cloud, which is the claim to fame that we are bringing in that respect. So let me show you what my phone managed to learn about me when I was traveling to meet with Walmart the other day. So everything is now happening on the phone. The phone can understand when I'm at the terminal, when I'm walking, when I'm sitting at Starbucks at the terminal. Later on, I'm sitting in the airplane. Later on, I'm in the taxi, arriving to my hotel. Not a single bit of data had to leave my phone to do that. And next, my phone can actually understand my daily routine. Think about how applicable that can be in your solutions. For every day and every hour, my phone can understand if I'm at home or at work or still in my car, without looking at my calendar, without looking at any other applications, just by understanding the accelerometer, the barometer, the Wi-Fi, and so on. And finally, my phone can start understanding my lifestyle, my profile. And in my specific case, because I have the pleasure of going out to eat with a lot of customers, I'm a social guy. And my phone understands that I'm also a heavy commuter, less of a pleasure. It knows how do I like to spend my weekends. It can understand how much time I'm spending at home. So only my phone and my wife knows it. I'm a moderate shopper. My phone understands that I'm a frequent flyer. It can understand my physical activity is fine, not great, just fine. This is what my phone learned about me, and guess what? All of this information is remaining only on my phone. And now, what you saw is actually how the phone can understand two major elements. One is to understand my persona by understanding hundreds of microsegments about me. Then my phone can understand my micro moments. I just stopped driving. I just started walking. I just entered home. So this is my context. If my phone understands my persona and my context, it can always pull the relevant information for me. And finally, let's speak a little bit about privacy. This is the revolution that we are now bringing to the market, because if all other solutions will require my profile to be imported to the cloud so that the cloud can push information in my direction, in the case of our solution, we changed everything. Now my phone knows my profile, and it looks at the cloud and tells the cloud, okay, give me offering number 1, number 11, and number 75 because they fit my profile, but I don't want to tell you who am I. So for the first time, we are showing how somebody can get personal and contextual services without anybody knowing who you are, which considered to be impossible until now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, pretty cool panel, I think, here. So we basically have about 10 to 15 minutes of just some power questions here, and then open it up to you for another 5 or 10 as well. So we're going to start with Joy here. So how can retailers bring significant traffic to their sites without overspending on digital marketing? So far, brands and retailers pay for views, clicks on social media with very little conversion rate. How do individual retailers and brands survive when giants like Amazon are in the game?
Yes, this is actually a very often asked question by multiple brands retailer that in our database. We work with over 800 brands in the US, and we also work with, actually we work with Amazon China, in China as well, but not Amazon US yet. I think everybody is struggling when you're not the monopoly yet. You're struggling from getting traffic to your sites, and getting traffic is one of the most expensive thing right now. 10 years ago, an app have a new user is like 40 cents per new users. Now it's like $15 to getting new users. So the price have surged 20 times in over the 5 years. And right now people are still wasting money. Every brand, they never cut their marketing budget because that's something they have to spend every year. But oftentimes they realize all those millions of dollar marketing money is spent wasteful because they don't actually get real conversion. It's like the difference between branding advertising and sales advertising. So we're actually the real conversion sales advertising space. We make sure you only pay us when the product is sold. So typically a brand charges us pay us 5 to 20% of the product. Brands pay us 20%, and retailer, like Macy's, for example, will do 5% because they have a lot of middleman fees. So this way, you never lose money. It's win-win for everyone.
Yeah, good. Thank you. So to Chris, how is AI's ability to optimize promotion and the selection of channels change the way retailers view the advertising cycle?
Sure, I think we, to reference some of the slides earlier, I think the huge opportunity and where we're placing major bets in the future is that ability to create personalized content at speed and at scale. And so when AI is almost that personal assistant, not only in the creation of the content, but also the delivery of the content, that is where brands and retailers are going to have huge opportunities going forward. I think an extension of that is, and we're seeing hints of that as well, is it's not only about personalized content, but about personalized products. So when you combine those two needs, that is where AI, machine learning models, everything from the creation to the distribution, measurement, and then optimization is foundational for the future success of retail and brands going forward.
Yeah, good, thank you. So stepping into a little bit of the privacy issues, Ofer, personalization is very important, but privacy has also become a highly important issue for customers. How can this conflict be solved without affecting the customer experience?
Yeah, so I think that, the main question is, when it comes to privacy, when the information, our private information, is actually leaving our possession from our phones and are going to some unknown cloud. A lot of the solutions today are trying to solve the problem of how do we defend and protect our information in the cloud. What we believe is that the best way of protecting our data is not to take it out of our phones in the first place. If technology can allow us to do that, then by all means, we can rest assured that we, for the first time, are controlling our own personal data.
Do either of you want to add on to that?
Sure. Actually, we have this question a lot as well, because when we work with content platforms, oftentimes they're worried, I'm releasing this new show, and you kind of have to analyze my show firsthand, and then it's like our content is leaking. So to make everybody happy, the company actually just came out with a new product. It's called the Enterprise Solution. Also, we're a startup, so when we work with these giants company, they often worry, what if you close down, or what if you got acquired, all these questions. So the solution is that we can actually run our model built by 20 scientists and engineers on your server. So the clients can actually own our technology running on their server. So nothing about the user or your content will leak out to third party. So that way, the content platforms or the e-commerce platform can own their data exclusively. At the same time, for user privacy, we only track the user shopping behaviors. We don't know about who's your wife, who's your kids, and where you go to your doctor. We only know about what products, what kind of sunglasses, shirts, pants you have looked at, you have engaged with. So it's nothing sensitive privacy information.
Yeah, good,
Yeah, simply put, our North Star is really to serve the creator and respect the end consumer, and I think that's foundational to not only the products we build, but we're very mindful of the content that comes out of the tools we build as well.
And I feel like this question, we could go on for a few hours with it. I'm sure we're going to see it over the next year as being up in the front. So before we open to the audience, one last question. Ofer, will AI continue to improve data, and how will the automation of analysis change retail products, services, and communication?
Yeah, I think that eventually, if you are looking at what you know today about your customers, to be honest, this is only what you see on their online activities, what they are doing on your website, what they are doing on your application. You don't know really about their persona, because the vast majority of their persona is their offline activities. If I like to run 3 times a week, do you know it? Most likely you don't. If I'm driving a Porsche, you don't know it, but my phone knows it. My phone can see the Bluetooth of my car, and it knows that I'm driving a Porsche. So if you do manage to solve the issue of privacy, you can actually open 360 understanding of your customers to a level that was not allowed today if you're only counting on their online activities.
Hey, thank you. So we're getting the 5-minute mark, so I'm going to open it up to all of you. Does anyone have a question you'd like to ask all of them? Okay.
My name is Jen Suarez, and my expertise is privacy. And I have a question for Ofer. How do you envision your technology playing in the marketplace today? Is it an overlay? Is it a special API that communicates what exists?
Yeah, so what we are doing in order to make it available for everybody is just to license the core SDK to the retailers of the world, to the banks of the world. In that case, we ensure 2 things. 1, this is under their control. Second, we are out of the equation. So there is no way that we can see data of their customers. This is very important to them. And to be honest, this is also very important to us. So that's the best way of making it available. You just take this SDK, you implement it into your existing application, and off you go. You can now come with a message, a strong message to your customers to say, you know what, we brought artificial intelligence to the rescue. For the first time, we don't need to get your data. We don't need to collect your data. We can if you allow us, but if you don't, that's fine as well. We can still serve you in a personal and contextual way.
Thank you to all of you, and I feel free to reach out to any of them if you have very specific questions on their very interesting products. So, thank you.
Thank you.